everyone, and welcome to another episode of Optimal Life Balance with Coach Vicki. I'm Coach Vicki. We learn to take charge of your life, both personally and business, and make sure you have fun along the way. Today, we're going to talk about it's not balance, it's balancing. If you've heard the thing else, you have a balanced life, and everyone says you can never be balanced. And the thing is life continually changes. So no, you'll never be 100% balanced all the time. But when you learn how to balancing your life in the 7 key areas, or even your key areas of life between life, work, and faith, and learning you can balancing it is what you want to do. You're never going to be balanced with a D at the end of it. You could be balanced or balancing, but you'll never be balanced, meaning that it'll never be permanent because life continually changes. So things continually change for it. But when you have the tools and the systems and the faith and the belief in yourself and what you can do when you go out of balance, you won't stay there. You know how to get back into balance for it. So when you're thinking of it, when somebody says, you're going through a season or you're out of balance, when you are more than 3 years in a situation that's thrown you out of balance, it's not a season anymore. It's more of a lifestyle. So if you're dealing with taking care of somebody or a health issue or a job issue that you're working extra time and things, but if it's consistently for more than 3 years, it's more become a lifestyle than just a season that you're going through of a situation that you have to go through. So when you first have to realize, is this really something that is just a season I'm going through that I can make it through it and balance out all the other areas that it may be not spending as much time to, or is this become a new lifestyle? And do I want it to be my lifestyle or do I not? So when we think of that, we're going to go into 3 key areas of your life, which is your life, your work, and your faith. And then we're going to go into your core values and your hub, which we call hub and valve, and we'll go into more details on that. But the first area, your work. Most of us spend a good 8 to 10 hours of our day at our work, in our job, or even if we're running a business and if we're doing it as a job thing up for it, we spend a good portion of our life doing that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you need to learn to make sure you do balance it, but even balance in your work life. If you're spending all your time if you're trying to grow a business and you're spending all your time on your back office stuff and not getting out there and meeting people and doing things, you're not going to grow your business the way you need to. It's same as if you're spending all the time meeting people, but you have nothing to offer them because you haven't put anything together. What are you going to be giving them? So it's a kind of balancing of your tasks that you need to do and finding that true balancing act that you can do in spending time. And by utilizing some tools that you can do that with, all these tools can be used in all areas of your life. If you use a system that helps you plan and prioritize, time block, batch blocking, there's a lot of different terminologies out there, but basically it is you finding what's best for you. And when I work with my clients, that's what we try to do, is we try to find out what works best for you. As I probably went over once before, if you've seen one of my backup episodes about learning, each person learns differently and memorizes things differently. Some people learn from visual, some people learn from audio, some people learn from reading, some people learn from hands-on. So when you also are putting together your to-do list, your checklist, your systems, your tools, you need to keep those things in mind. Because if somebody is a person who is a visual person and everything that you have doing is reading it all or have to read through things, you're not going to keep up to doing it. For myself, I'm definitely more of a visual and hands-on type of person. I like making checklists and bullet points and doing the stuff than having to sit and read through a book or a manual to do it. I like those if I need more reference to where I can go back and do it, But for me to learn and to do something, I want the hands-on. So when I work with my clients, that's what I kind of help them with, finding out which method works best for them, and then setting up systems for them to use that way in their personal and business life for it. So within your business, if you're trying to grow a business and you feel overwhelmed between your personal life and your business, that you feel like you're doing too much time doing that, or even if you're working a job and a career and trying to move up, the same philosophy works with it. Is if you're finding that you're spending 12, 14, 16 hours a day at your job and nothing really, or like 2 or 3 hours a day at your home life, you're going to be out of balance. And you're not, I think, one thing is going to suffer. Either your job is going to suffer because you're going to feel so guilty when you're there that you're not really even there, or your home life's going to be suffering because you're not there at all. So what we say is try to find a good balance. Now, you can't say it's like, okay, I'm going to split my day 50-50 and that's going to be it. In the real world, that doesn't work. So it may be Monday through Friday, you are spending 10, 12 hours a day at your job, or growing that business, or hustling what you are doing. And then on Saturday and Sunday is family time only, or maybe just Sunday is family time, or every Friday night is date night with your your significant other. It's making those initial and set up times to find that balance. Now, a lot of us know this, and the problem is knowing it is not the problem. Is learning how to implement it, learning tools and systems to use to keep it in track, and hold yourself accountable and integrity to yourself, that if this is what you want, you're going to do it. You're going to find a way of doing it, and keeping your word to yourself and whoever else you do it. That also then goes into your personal life. That if in your home life, you want to make sure that you're finding me time for yourself, take that bubble bath, go for that walk, read that book, whatever it is that you like to do for you, go get your nails done, type of thing. Because when you put into you and your time into you and you feel filled up, you have more to give out. When you feel deprived and drained, it's hard for you to do and give out to others. So think of that as part of when you're planning your things, to make sure you schedule in me time. But you also have your doctor's appointments and your job. If you have a 9-to-5 job, you have family obligations that you have to do. So when you sit down and do, like I said, we do at the beginning of the month, we've talked about before, about doing a brain dump of everything you have in your head and putting it down on a piece of paper so that it's not clogging up your memory. Each Sunday or the beginning of each week, to kind of go through that list, putting everything into a calendar, either digital, online, through our tracker that we have. We've got a great tracker that helps keep you track of your action steps and your daily to-do list and your goals. Those are tools that one of the tools that I use, and I use multiple. I use paper planner and as well as my digital planner. My paper planner, I plan out a lot longer. My digital planner concentrates on my week. So those are different things that you can use. Some people like the old manual planner and that's it. Some people do 100% digital. Neither one is wrong. Again, it goes to what works best for you. When we also then try to do the work-life balance type of thing, we want to make sure we're putting in some time for fun with it. And that's fun to enjoy doing what we do, fun with friends, going out to dinner with the girls, going to the comedy club, whatever it may be, or doing for you to have some fun. So sometimes we think of fun as, oh, I can't do that. It costs too much money. Fun doesn't have to cost you money. It sometimes can. I'm not going to say it doesn't on there, but it also can just be going to the park with the kids, or playing game night for the family. Remember, fun is just relaxing and enjoying whatever it is. Movie nights. Get a big bag of popcorn and make movies for yourself and go watch movies on TV, Netflix, or anything else. You can get a lot of almost nothing. So you don't have to spend it at the movie theater because those are quite expensive. But also save for that maybe big fun trip or that weekend away or that bigger thing so that you have something to look forward to. So both of those are important. But while you're doing all of that, we want to make sure we remember one thing. And that is the other area we're talking about is your faith. And faith is, to me, was gotten what me got through all of what I've been going through in life and doing my changing in my career and my personal and my business, as well as just me. For it. So when you are going through all the different things of trying to figure out what to do and what to balance, is asking God for assistance, or whoever your higher faith is, if that is not yours, but is knowing too that when you pour into yourself or pour into your belief and into your belief of yourself, that you are designed for greatness, that you can do it, that you spend time in your church or doing your prayer time or devotional time in there and ask for guidance and the strength to make it through your balancing your work and your life and everything else that comes at you at one time, to know where you could take a deep breath and just breathe for it. And when we do that, we want to realize that to know where to find what we call our hub or our core into what we are. And there's different ways of doing it. And the thing is your core and the thing will change as you go through seasons. And each season you go through, and sometimes at different stages of your life, it will be different things. And there's a few different key areas of what your core could be focused on. Ultimately, you're hoping your focus is on maybe God, legacy, or what it could be, but it could be focused on a few different things. It could be focused on self. And sometimes when you're first starting this journey, it may need to be focused on self. It may need to be that you're doing everything you're doing for you because your glass is empty and you need to fill it up so that you can then pour it back out to others. So there's nothing wrong with being focused on yourself, as long as it's not greedy focus on yourself. It's focus on yourself to better yourself. Your second area that maybe you may have to be focused maybe on money, and not into that you want to make millions of dollars and be a billionaire, but focused on money is in that you need to get out of financial debt, or building a business to make a certain amount of money so that you could be a certain place to be able to support your family or do what you need to do. So there's nothing wrong with money being your core, your hub in a season of life. The other one is God. And we hope all the time God is, but God may be just in a season too where you need to find that inner strength and peace and love and joy through God. And that may be a season you have to go through, that once you've got that, though, that'll take you through all the seasons. Once you feel that inside of you go through the different things, you never lose it on there for it, or you can, but he never loses you. There's another one, there's legacy. And that is when you may be at the second end of your thing, that you're now gone through a lot of this self-development and you've gone through money and that you're starting to want to leave a legacy. And legacy, just to let you know, does not have to be financial. Legacy could be emotional, just how you touched people and what kind of impact you put on them. The other one is power. Power is more could be a tricky one. But if you use your power or your influence in the proper way, it could be a good thing. Is in that if you become to a powerful position in your job, that you can use it for good for others. and how you do it, that you are concentrating on that growth of power and strength to grow. Then there's things. Things are something that unfortunately we'll go, we want to be better than the Joneses. We want a type of an idea. And they all have a place and a time into it, that sometimes the things are that you need to concentrate on: a new car, a new house, a new something to get where you want to go. But you got to remember, though, with all of these things, you're changing as a life, and you have to find what works best for you. And it might not be the same in all the key areas on it. Each one may be a little bit different, but then you have to kind of figure out which is your most for it. Out of the 70 areas, may have 3 of them that are legacy, and 2 that are this, and 1 that's in God, and 1 that's in, self. And then you got to say, okay, what is my biggest one right now that I am concentrating on, and what I want to work on? The last one is image. Image is a lot that we do, is where we put down ourselves. And for that, like into fitness, if fitness is, you're worrying about your image is for your fitness, instead of being healthy or of sound mind, I think else, you're worried about what other people think of you, or what you even think of yourself as your own image. That is sometimes a season you may have to go through for it, but you have to realize, when you look at each one of these, you want to see if this one area of your life is this, what do you need to do and work on it to get it to where you want it to go? Because where it is where it is now, that does not mean it has to stay there. So if your fitness is, and you classified as image on there, and it's because you don't like what you look like, okay, then what do you need to do to change it from image to leave it to about self or legacy, or something that you want to change it to on there? And what are the action steps and things you need to do, or what kind of goals do you need to work on for it? So if you have an area that you're not liking where it is on there, that's an okay, because we're using this as a tool to start where we're at, so we know where we want to go. Then there's our valves, our valve in the wheel, or our values. What do we find are more important to us? Is it our family, or our friends, or our faith? Is it our career, or our fitness, or our health, or our finances? What resonates to you that you automatically are important to you? For me, it's my faith, my family, and my field on there. My fitness and my finance on that are ones that I know I need to work on, but they're not my easy or priority to it. But I also know if I get those in order, the other part of my life will also balance back out. So it's learning that balancing act between them, of which one helps each other out. Now, just to kind of go over a little bit what we're talking about of the hub and the valve, that is part of my training with coaching training with our personal things, of taking you through the whole framework. And if you want more in depth on it, please let me know. We can meet together. We can go through the whole thing. You can go through the whole training program for it, and learning what is true about yourself, so that we can start planning. But when we think of where we want to go in life, we sometimes think, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, or the next day, or I'll start next month, or whatever. But we want to stop and think, let's start. What's wrong with starting right now? When we have these plans and these things that we're trying to find a balance to, it's not going to happen overnight. It didn't get out of balance usually to overnight either. So it's not going to get back into balance automatically either. But when we learn that balancing those 7 key areas and those plates in the air, or just the different things that we've got juggling up in the sky that we're trying to keep going, is that sometimes a plate may fall or a bowl may fall, but you can pick it back up and start it over again. And you don't have to wait to the beginning of the month, the beginning of the year, the next week. You can just pick it up and start right then and there. When you find that you are out of balance or not sure something's falling or where you go to, stop and take a breath. Stop and look at inside of you and ask God, where am I going? What's going on? Help me refocus. Because till you stop and refocus, you're just going to continue to just be scrambling and not get any place, and you're going to feel worse on it. So when you thinking of all of the things of the difference between balanced and balancing, is that you are never going to be completely balanced in life, but you can be balancing in life and learning how to balancing all these areas. And when something has to go out of balance, how to make sure you can keep the other one still kind of floating and keep going with it so that you don't have everything crashing for you. And by using, and I know it sounds funny that to use like a checklist and to-do lists and stuff like that, but the thing is we all know what we have to do, but till we put it down in paper and pen, till we see it in front of us, till we hold ourselves accountable for it, and that's what a coach helps you with, is holding you accountable to what you say you want to do, is helping you build that integrity in yourself if you don't have it strong enough already. Is because when you have to answer to somebody else, either God or your coach, or even that person in the mirror when you put it out there, is a difference than if you just keep it in your head and you don't say it and nobody knows anything about it. Because you can just say, well, no one knew I wasn't supposed to do this, or no one knew I said I was going to do this. And it's easier for us to just pass it off if we haven't built that strong integrity in ourselves. Now, I'm going to admit to anything else on there. Yes, sometimes I go off that integrity wheel that I said I'm not going to eat something or I'm not going to do something or whatever, and I do it. And I realize, okay, it's my choice. I made the choice. I knew what the consequences or what the outcome would be, and I made that choice still. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I also, though, then know, okay, I make the choice now to get back on where I'm supposed to be for the life I want to lead. Because is it a diet or even in any of the things you think, it's not a temporary thing, it's a lifestyle change. And when you want to make a lifestyle change, you realize it's going to take a lifetime, but it's going to take a lifetime of continually growing, because your life will continually change. If you go look back where you were 5-10 years ago to where you are now, it's totally different. No matter how much you think it's not, it is. You've grown, and hopefully in the positive end. And if it's not grown in the positive end, then you want to see, what didn't I do? What did I let go? What did I forget about? And was it me? Was it me that I forgot about, that I kept those limited beliefs that everyone's told me that I'm not going to be able to do something, and so I just didn't do it? And if so, that is the problem we need to work with first. We need to work on finding out who you are and what is of value to you. What is your core values? What's important to you, and where you want to go, and then give you the tools and the action steps to get there. And then help you hold accountable for it till you start taking those small steps. And each step you take towards that goal, you will then feel more confident in yourself. And I know I've said it before, that confidence, if you're waiting to be confident, you're never going to get anything. Confidence comes with you taking the steps, falling down a few times if you have to, but keep getting back up and going forward. With that all being said, I hope you got some great information on today on how that you're not going to always be balanced in the key areas of life, but it's a balancing act, that you can balancing your life when you have the systems, the tools, the accountability, the community, the faith that you can do it. the belief in yourself that if things go wonky, type of an idea, it's okay. Just stop, take a breath, and realize, do your best in whatever you do and whatever that is. So with that being said, if you guys want some more information on how to do it or would love to get some coaching on this, please reach out to me. I'm always here to help you with whatever you need, even if it's just a few. Like I said, I give anybody who watches the show, tell me that you saw the show and what was it about, and that you would like a free coaching session. We will definitely connect, and just to kind of talk, see if it's something that I can help you with, see if we're a fit for each other, because that's just as important to me as it is to you. We want to make sure we can work together and help each other out, because it's not good if we don't mesh. I hope and we do. And I've been blessed to be able to help you. So just in that, I want to say have a blessed and fun day, guys, and we'll see you to the next episode.